Hi there, everyone. This is Sharon for another Self Care You Nugget. And so today, what we will talk about is self awareness and action. And remember, with these Self Care You Nuggets, remember to like and share, remember to turn on your notification, and remember to subscribe. And with these Self Care You Nuggets, there's not a set time or what time I will be on. It can be in the morning, it can be in the afternoon, it can be in the evening. I need to start doing more evening ones because when the storm of life happens, when challenges happens, even when the good things happen, we never know what time, we never know when, and sometimes we don't even know how. And so the more that we can practice to truly be in the moment, to expect something and not knowing exactly when and how, we can enjoy life a whole lot better and to be able to explore. And with these Self Care You Nuggets, they also help business owners and entrepreneurs to use self care on the road to success, to be healthy and wealthy in every way, because it is about your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual health, and your financial health. And if we do not have all of those, we're not able to be truly wealthy on the inside and the outside. And so, to and you would probably say, Sharon, what does self awareness and action has to do with being healthy and wealthy? It has everything to do with it, because you can have all the knowledge that you need, but how do you look at the knowledge towards yourself? Because you may be looking at things outside of yourself. And one thing that I can tell you, if you follow me, you've heard me say it from time to time again, and pretty much it was a very stressful time in my life, and I decided to take a yoga class because I knew by being a therapist, I knew that therapy was it going to help calm my nervous system down, calm my heart rate down, and my racing thoughts. And it was just too much for me at that particular time in my life to process it. So each individual is different. For some individual, it's very helpful. But one thing I will say, whether individuals decide to do talk therapy or not, in that you gotta regulate that nervous system, period. Anyway, with self-awareness, what does that mean to you? What is self-awareness? Sometimes I think people run away from self-awareness. Oh, I am self-aware. Then I'm looking at people who says that and like, okay, if you are self-aware, then you would know how your behavior or your words are impacting others. To a certain extent, we can't be too concerned about it. But then I always say when it comes to people who are in our circles, to be, a little concerned about it, to be able to at least hear. And so self awareness is really looking at yourself, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. We all have it, no matter who we are, of how much I want to be loved and adored by everyone. I know that I'm not. Someone can take one look at me and like, oh, I don't like her. Like, oh, wow. Somebody else would come back and tell me that. And so, just in saying that, could it be true from their perspective? Could it be true? Who knows? But the main thing is, we can easily look at someone else and say, da 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 da, have a whole list of laundry in that what they need to work on. But what about you? What do you need to work on? More so of any limited beliefs that you have. And it's not just the belief, even though the belief tied into your behaviors can prevent you from taking action or moving towards where you need to be in life. And so it's really important to be become self-aware, to investigate yourself. Because when I started this self-care journey, as I was saying before, it was a very stressful time in my life, and I entered into a yoga class and I wanted to learn more. And then, pretty much from there, it was a time in my career where I wanted to help people in a different way. And I took a life coaching class training, and that really got me in touch with myself, because I started asking myself, well, what do I need healing from? And I've been asking myself that question since. And and then sometimes there are things that we just don't know. But the other most important piece is about self awareness. It's not just the healing piece of it, that's just part of it. We do need that, but we can do that and still propelled forward. But what is it that you need to learn or do or be aware of yourself, so that you can go to the next level, so you can have, it may not be a lifestyle, but for you can provide more for your family, do more for your family, do more in life for yourself. What is it that you want? Sometimes we can have some ways about ourselves that we may not be aware of, that may irk other people. And, for the most part, like when it comes to the world, no, we're not going to worry about that. But one thing I will say, if several people are saying the same thing about you, then we may need to take heed and just investigate that more. But the main thing is, if you feel like that you're stuck, you feel like that you're not moving, if you're not where you want to be in life, this is where that self-awareness, that self-inquiry really comes into play. It's like, what do I need to do? How do I need to think? What do I need to say to myself so that I can get out of this thing? And sometimes the thing could be a good thing, but you just want better. We always want better, and there's nothing wrong with that, because this is how we can be more connected to our higher self. And so, again, self awareness is so important. And once you become aware of, and again, there are different ways of how you could become. One way is to sit in yourself. That sitting in silence is really going to help you, and to ask yourself questions. It can be just one question, but the more that you ask yourself a question, a minimum of three to five, and seven is really good. Is to really just ask yourself the question. And the more that you ask yourself um, just one question, whatever that one question is, that you want to find out more, you can say, what is this? What is this? What is this? And each time, the first three times, the first two times, nothing may come up. Usually about the third time, something will. In that, things will unfold. And remember this too, when you're asking someone a question, because sometimes people will be like, oh, you lying because I asked you that three times and each time you gave me a different answer. Sometimes that's not always the case, that someone is lying. Usually what happens, it opens the gate to their memory, because the more you sit on something, then the memories will start coming back. And then you remember more of it, more of it. Because when someone first asks you something, it's like, oh, you may say something that the first thing that comes in your mind, but the first thing that comes in your mind may not actually be the true memory of that thing. And so take your time when you're asking someone else, but we're talking about you. And so sit with yourself so that you will can pretty much, things can unfold for you when it comes to that. And so with the things that you have discovered, come up with, when you're asking yourself these questions. And it's up to you, but I would say not too many questions, especially when you're really going deep within yourself. If you're just kind of exploring, but the more you sit with one or a couple of questions, then the deeper you can get to the root of something and to see something for what it actually is. And it may not be as bad as you thought, or it may be exactly what you thought, and you may, either way, you're going to come out with the treasure. The other thing is that then what? Will it allow you to do something different? Will it allow you to move different? The main thing is to take action, especially as a business owner, as an entrepreneur. I mean, self-development, period, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, is the gateway of life, the gateway to living. I mean, once I discovered this, I'm like, oh my, they didn't tell us this in school. Oh man, I'm like catching up. But the self-awareness and action is key. And anytime you feel stuck in taking action, take that deep breath, or there's a couple ways of taking a breath. Sometimes you may need a breath to relax you, and sometimes you may need a breath to energize you. So you decide which type of breath that you need, because the relaxation can cause more anxiety for some others, and then for some, the relaxation can soothe the relaxation. But if anything, you still need the energy to do what you need to do. And to me, sometimes a fast-paced breath can help just take it all out, give me the energy, and remove any anxiety that comes along with that. So again, when it comes to self-awareness, it is your gateway to health, your gateway to wealth, because you can pinpoint things, I would say some behaviors within you that may not be productive for you, that may not be in your best interest, or just something you need to improve on. We all, even I remember when I started coming on live a couple years ago, I knew I had anxiety, and like, oh, talking in front of a whole lot of people, every once in a while, I may still have that, especially when it comes to live, even though this is live, but live in another way, meaning like in presenting a workshop or something like that. I may have it in the beginning, but once I get started, then, and the same thing with you, there's something, if you're not where you need to be and you know where you want to go, awareness class of yourself, and then take actions. You may need to write down 3 things you can do that can get you closer or where you want to go, whatever that is in life, and again, I mean, is there still improvements that I can make in doing these lives? Of course. But believe me, I'm a whole lot better than what I was, because at one time I didn't even want to be seen. And like, oh no. I remember my very first one, which wasn't even live, it was a Zoom call. He was like, oh yeah, I want to do this. And I didn't mind talking to the other person, but it was kind of like, ooh, I don't want people to see me. But in order to, I just put it like this, in order to, well, I'm not going to say that, but got to be seen somewhere. Show up. If anything, show up for yourself. So again, self-awareness is the key. It really is, because it's a part of self-development, and always learning about yourself and just do something different. Do the opposite of, you feel like that you're stuck, just go ahead and do it. Just do something. Do the opposite of, like, if you're sitting in place, you may need to stand up. And so. Thank you for those of you who join me live. If this is on a replay, just put hashtag replay. And for you business owners and entrepreneurs, when it comes to self-care, your way to success, to be healthy and wealthy, I do have self-care workshops, and I do groups and also consultations as well. So keep your eye out for those things and for the consultations, definitely go to my calendar and schedule a consultation for yourself. And there's also a complimentary financial consultation as well, because you really do need to know where your money is going, so that it's not just about making the money for the future generation, but making decisions of where they're going now, so they can be in the place just in case. Anyway, thank you all for listening.